Hey everyone, so I'm going to do an all signs for Mercury retrograde. I'm just going to pull a few cards. I always say that and it ends up being a ton of cards. So we'll see. I'm pulling from the Dreamkeeper's Tarot today and the Urban Crow Oracle. And then at the end, I'm going to get you something from The Universe Has Your Back, just as a little parting gift of wisdom. These are just, I don't know, they're kind of like affirmations. I have no idea where the book is to this deck, so I'm not reading anything beyond that. I will, however, potentially read from the Urban Crow if I feel guided to. And we're going to look at what you might need to redo, what you might need to remix, and what you might need to rethink, okay? So basically something that you might have to do over or tie up loose ends with, something like this. Remix is like something you might need to tweak or fine-tune, change in some way. And rethink is going to represent like what you might need to look out for or reconsider, that could be something you're doing now or something you're thinking about doing. So rethink is just kind of going to be what to look out for in the final position, because as most of you probably know, Mercury retrograde is riddled potentially with transportation issues, communication issues, you know, computer malfunctioning, anything mechanical. Or in movement, things like this in our thinking and communication are potentially affected. And this retrograde, which officially starts on the 25th, is in Sagittarius. And no offense to the Sagittariuses. My mom is a Sagittarius, and that's actually in my 6th house. And I'm also a 9th house sun, okay? And my Mercury is in the 9th house. My point is, Sagittarius, no offense, in my opinion, is already a chaotic energy. I don't think it's a good placement for Mercury necessarily, okay? Sagittarius can be philosophical, it can be intellectual, right? It can be very spiritual. But I personally don't feel that Mercury is very well suited in the mutable signs outside of Virgo, because that's home for Mercury, right? Virgo is a much slower intelligence, so I think that's fine. But I don't like it, is my point. I don't like it in Sagittarius. I don't like it in Pisces. I don't like it, and I don't like anything in Gemini. Gemini is too chaotic. Once again, no offense to the Geminis, because my father was a Gemini. So I'm not putting down the signs themselves. I'm putting down the energy of the planets in those signs. So now that I've said all of that, we're going to get started. Like I said, Sagittarius, welcome. I hope you're doing well. So Sagittarius, this Mercury retrograde is happening in your sign. So this could potentially impact you more than any of the other signs, since it is in your home sign. Just wanted to make a note of that. So brace yourself while we get into it. Spirits, can you tell me what should Sagittarius redo at this time? Growth. What should Sagittarius remix? Okay, I caught it before it fell. What should Sagittarius remix at this time? All right, we got 2 cards, I believe. That's interesting. Scorpio just got both of these cards, and well, self-interest was actually their middle card and survival was their end card. And what should Sagittarius rethink at this time? What should Sagittarius rethink? Grief. Scorpio got that card too. And we have scavenge. That's weird. At the bottom of the deck with routine. Influence. See, this card didn't come out for anyone. Scavenge. Routine. Growth. Self-interest. Survival. Grief. Okay. Well, I'm just going to move on into clarify. Partly because Scorpio got 3 of these cards. So I don't want to imprint anything on your reading from Scorpio's reading. So let's clarify growth for me for Sagittarius. I didn't like how that came out very much, but okay. Give me one more, please, for growth. One more. Pick that up, too. One more, please, for growth. The Devil wanting to pop out, but I'm not going to take that one. I will take this one, the Sun. Okay. What is with these cards? They want to go sideways. That could have... one more. The Knight of Swords. Okay, I was going to say 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I was going to say the cards kept coming out like sideways. Like they, you know, I was shuffling and then like one of them would like, you know, dip like this when I was trying to like... And since we're clarifying growth here and the Sun came out as well, I feel like there's something here about moving sideways instead of upwards. And this could be in the job. Queen of Pentacles came out right away. So, like for some of you, you might need to redo your growth trajectory instead of growing sideways. Like perhaps you got a promotion, but it wasn't really an upward move, it was more of a lateral move, right? So it wasn't a real promotion. Or you got another job and it wasn't really better, it was just about the same, it was just different, right? And that's exactly what I feel here. I feel like you need to be growing upward toward the Sun, but instead you're growing like sideways. And with the Knight of Swords here, he is making me feel like maybe you rushed into something without having adequate information about it. Like maybe you thought it was an opportunity, you thought it was going to grow, it was going to go somewhere, you know, that you were going to grow in this opportunity, but like you neglected to get all the details that you needed, that were necessary. And now I feel like you're finding out maybe that it didn't have the potential. My cats are fighting, I might have to scream. Stop. You. Stop it. He's pretended that he didn't see me point at him. All right, sorry. I mean, that could that could definitely be some sort of message too. Maybe there's some sort of fighting going on somewhere in the home or in the workplace, whatever the case may be. The Knight of Swords often is, to me, like the barroom hero. Like the guy who's ready for a fight, who, you know, just jumps in for better or worse, like, because he thinks that he's doing what's right. Sometimes he is. Sometimes he's misinformed. Alright, that's what I'm getting off of that, Sagittarius. Once again, I don't know if this is, you know, work context or some other context, but I think you would know. So let's talk about self-interest and survival. Can you clarify this for Sagittarius, please? Anything else you can tell me about this? Magician. And the Three of Wands. Yeah. The Chariot. There's something better somewhere else. I feel like you're not, like, this isn't what you signed up for. Self-interest, survival. It's like you need to reconsider your survival instincts and your own self-interests. I feel like you're in a situation that isn't benefiting you. It's not utilizing all your skills. You're not being, you know, your potential is not being, like, maximized. You're not expanding, like, your horizons. You're not growing. And point blank, I think you need to look elsewhere with the Three of Wands. She's looking over here at the Magician, which is, you know, it's a new beginning. It's power. It's just about your abilities and knowing when to use the right tools at your disposal. So I feel like you have everything you need to do better, to find better. Like I said, I don't know the context that we're talking about here. It could very much have to do with money. But yeah, I feel like something that you're doing somewhere in your life is, like, taxing you. It's like taking all of your resources away from you. And it's not, like, fostering your growth. I kind of feel like, you know, you can sit here and keep waiting and hoping that what you wanted is going to appear, but I feel like this is saying, like, no, you need to put yourself first. You need to think about your own survival. Like, you need to get a little selfish and like, remember who you are and do your magic to create a better opportunity for yourself somewhere else. I mean, it could involve, like, moving. I don't necessarily, but the Chariot was there and the Three of Wands. That's why I'm saying that. It could involve moving. Like, to a place that, you know, is going to get you like better pay where the cost of living is better, right? So you make more money, you pay less money to survive. Win-win. And then I also feel like it's really important, there's something about like using all of your skills, putting all of your abilities to use, like not being stagnant, because I feel like something's stagnant that you need to like kind of go over this situation again and look at like how you're, I don't know, like you're not, it's like the sun's not shining on you where you are. It's like someone planted you in the shade and you need to be in the sun, and maybe you planted yourself there or whatever it is. I feel like you need to move yourself somewhere else in the interest of yourself and your own survival, whether that's a job, a location, a relationship. Okay? Yeah, the Seven of Swords wanting to come out. What is grief for Sagittarius, please? The World. One more. Of course, I let it fall on the floor. The Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Wands here, and I did see the Seven of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles to me and the Seven of Swords can both be similar energies. They're both cards of like planning and strategizing. There's Four of Wands, and then there's you, Temperance, at the bottom of the deck. Once again, Four of Wands, the World. I do feel like some of you could be moving. You could need to move. You could be grieving the idea of leaving behind, you know, your current situation. But Seven of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, I feel like you need to make a plan and you need to strategize, and this is what you're being called to do here, what you're being called to think on here in this time of retrograde is like, how are you going to get away? How are you going to get out of this mess? How are you going to protect yourself and put your own interests? I mean, it's not selfish to want to grow. It's not selfish to want to survive, right? It's perfectly normal and healthy to want to have everything you need, to want to be useful, to want to feel empowered, to want to be recognized, to want the sun to shine on you. It's perfectly normal. It's what you should want. And I feel like, you know, there's something coming to an end with the World. Some sort of cycle is closing. There's a circle here too around this crow that's on the ground, like they're having a funeral. And I feel like you need to possibly reconsider whether or not you need to even be grieving this at all. Like, shouldn't you be celebrating the end of something that isn't supportive of you and your growth, that isn't sufficient in ensuring your self-interest and your own survival, that's just not serving you? It's like underserving you, undercutting you. So, I mean, you could be grieving that you were wrong here with the Knight of Swords. Because the Knight of Swords, you know, he can be arrogant. He can think he's smart. He knows everything. He's running into a situation thinking he has all the knowledge that he needs, but he does not necessarily. It's like all these crows up here, like, I feel like trying to stop him, trying to slow him down, trying to make him rethink. But, he's going for it anyway. So, I mean, you could just be grieving your own pride. But oddly enough, I do feel like this could be a move. Like having to change locations, and maybe you're grieving like the nostalgia, or I mean, potentially maybe you did move already and you're grieving, you know, you're missing home, like you're homesick. You want to make a plan to go back. That could be. But I feel like for most of you, this is like movement. This is like you planning on, you know, planning your next move, planning on where you need to go, planning on what the best situation is for you, whether it be a job, a house, a location, all of the above, relationship, whatever. And your task here is to think on all of these things and then realize that we need to let go of things in order to have other things, right? We can't hoard things. So if we want something better, if we want a better job, 9 times out of 10, we have to let go of the first job to have the better job. Not that many people can do 2 jobs, especially if they're full-time jobs, right? So it's just the facts of life. The grief card. I mean, it's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the way the world turns. We have to grieve when it's appropriate, of course, when we feel grief, but we also have to look on the bright side of things and look at how things are working out for us. Because I don't feel like this is a death. If this is a real death, I apologize, but I don't think so. I think this is you grieving something that you have to lose to get something else to do better for yourself. And it could be a house. Maybe it's like your childhood home or something like this. That's about all I have. 2 of Swords. Yeah, you have to make a head over heart decision. But at the end of the day, I feel like your head and your heart should be on the same page. Yeah, 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords, the Devil. Yeah, you have to break ties with something that is holding you back, whether you want to admit it or not. And as much as it may feel like a head over heart decision, like I said, your head and your heart should be in the same place with you, with what's best for you. Not, you know, I'm sorry, but with little regard for what is best for everyone else, especially if what's best for everyone else is hurting you. Okay? Because trust me, most people, most employers, whatever the case may be, are not thinking of you when they're making their own decisions to benefit themselves. Okay? Same is true for a lot of partners as well. All right. Can I get... All right. Can I get another card for Sagittarius, please? Guidance for Sagittarius, please. Beautiful card. One more card. I feel like... Okay. 2 more cards. Okay. Well, somebody else got these. We're starting... I mean, look at all these cards in here, but we're getting repeated ones. Alright, well this one, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And then this one says, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. And the first card that came out that I said was so beautiful. Oneness is my true nature. Yeah. It's making me think of this World card here. It's like you need to be Yeah, and the Magician. Like, there's something about you being fragmented, or you only being seen for, like, parts of you, when there's opportunities, there's places, people who are going to recognize all of you. I don't know if that makes any sense, but, like, there's something here about being whole, being appreciated for the whole of who you are. And that being something that's lacking. And I mean, that could potentially be because you're not growing the way you should be. Right? Because the sun's not shining on you. There's a shadow cast. Oh, interesting. Okay, Sagittarius, before I go off the rails and want to explore that further, I'm just going to end it here. Thank you so much. Good luck with this retrograde. I'll see you next time.